A very good afternoon, students. In this particular session, I would be dealing with the synapses of the kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia is also called as Metazoa. Let us start first the classification of kingdom Animalia. There are three criteria which are considered to classify the kingdom Animalia. First one, levels of organization, body symmetry, and nature of coelom. Kingdom Animalia is divided into two subkingdoms on the basis of levels of organization. The two subkingdoms are Parazoa and Eumetazoa. The animals which exhibit cellular level of organization are included in the subkingdom Parazoa, which includes only one phylum, that is Porifera. The animals which exhibit tissue organ system level of organization are included in Eumetazoa. The subkingdom Eumetazoa further divided into two grades. They are Radiata and Bilateria on the basis of two criteria. One is body symmetry and primary germinal layers. The animals which exhibit radial symmetry and diploblastic body condition are included in grade Radiata, and the animals which exhibit bilateral symmetry and triploblastic body condition are included in the Bilateria. Here, the grade Radiata includes two phylums, Cnidaria and Ctenophora. The grade Bilateria further divided into two divisions, which are Protostomia and Deuterostomia, on the basis of fate of blastopore. The blastopore is the primitive opening present during early embryonic development. The animals in which blastopore develop into mouth are called as protostomians. The animals in which blastopore is developed into anus are called as deuterostomians. The division Protostomia further divided into three subdivisions on the basis of nature of coelom. They are Ocoelomata, Pseudocoelomata, Cygocoelomata. The Cygocoelomata is the type of eucoelom. First, we will see the ocoelom. The animal ocoelomates, the animals in which body cavity is absent, called as ocoelomates. Example, Platyhelminthes. Next, pseudocoelomates, the animals in which false body cavity is present, called as pseudocoelomates. Example, Oscalmenthes. Next, eucoelomates, the animals in which true body cavity is present, that means fluid filled space present between ectoderm and endoderm, and which is lined by the mesodermal epithelium, called as eucoelomates. The eucoelomates are further divided into cygocoelomates and enterocoelomates. Here, protostomia includes cygocoelomata. Cygocoelom, the coelom which is derived from the splitting of mesoderm, is called as cygocoelom. Example for the cygocoelomates: annelids, arthropods, and molluscans. Here, division Deuterostomia includes only one subdivision, that is Enterocoelomata. The animals which include in the Enterocoelomata are enterocoelomates. Enterocoelom meaning the coelom, the eucoelom that is derived from the archenteron, called as enterocoelom. Example for the enterocoelomates: Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. This cygocoelomate and enterocoelomate are type of eucoelomates. So here we can see the all phylums of animal kingdom: Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Oscalmenthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, chordata. Let us move on to the next slide. Here about pattern of diverse digestive system in different type of animals. There are two type of digestive system: incomplete digestive system and complete digestive system. Incomplete digestive system has one opening which is act as both mouth and anus. Next, complete digestive system consists two openings, anteriorly mouth and the posteriorly anus. The incomplete digestive system is found in platyhelminthes, and the complete digestive system is first time appeared in nematoda, which is continued up to chordata. As like digestive system, there is a variation in the circulatory system in the different type of animals. There are two type of circulatory systems: open type of circulatory system and closed type of circulatory system. In open type of circulatory system, the blood flows through the cavities, body cavities. The blood which is pumped out of the heart, which both the cells and tissues, all cells and tissues are bathed in blood. That type of such type of circulatory system is called as open type of circulatory system. Next, the closed type of circulatory system. In closed type of circulatory system, the blood which is pumped out by the heart flows through the series of the blood vessels such as arteries, veins, capillaries. The open type of circulatory system is found in arthropoda, mollusca, and closed type of circulatory system found in Annelida and all chordates. Here one thing you should remember: all invertebrates consist open type of circulatory system except all invertebrate phylum organisms consist open type of circulatory system except Annelida and Cephalopoda, whereas all chordates consist closed type of circulatory system except Urochordates. Next, the animals in which cells are arranged into two embryonic layer, external ectoderm and internal endoderm, are called as diploblastic. On the basis of number of primary germ layers, primary germinal layers, the animals are divided into two groups: diploblastica and triploblastica. Diploblastic animals consist two layers, external ectoderm and internal endoderm. Example, porifera. And the triploblastic organisms consist three primary germinal layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Next, let us start with the characteristic feature of each and every phylum. First, we'll start with the phylum Porifera. The members of this phylum are commonly called as sponges because body is very soft and consists of pores. Pores, Porifera, porous meaning pore bearing animals. And these animals are mostly marine, symmetrical, and have the cellular level of organization. Most of the organisms are marine and only few are freshwater animals like Spongilla. The most of the animals are asymmetrical and they exhibit cellular level of organization. And the unique characteristic feature of poriferans, the presence of water transport system or water canal system, in which the water enters through the minute pores, which are called ostia, into the central spongocoel, from where it is goes out through the a large opening present at the anterior region of the body called as osculum. Next, the nutrition respiration and excretion is performed by the pathway of the water transport system. The function of canal system: nutrition, respiration, and excretion. Next, the type of reproduction: asexual reproduction by the fragmentation, sexual reproduction by the gamete formation. Next, fertilization is internal and development is indirect. When development is indirect, there should be larval stage. Your poriferans consists three type of larval stage: amphiblastula, parenchyma, trichymella. Examples: cycon and spongilla. Next, next phylum, Cnidaria, also called as Coelenterata. The cnidarians are aquatic, mostly marine, and they are sessile, free swimming, radially symmetrical organism. They exhibit radial symmetry. And they exhibit the tissue level of organization: diploblastic or coelomate organisms with a single opening. They show two type of body forms called as polyp and medusa. Polyp is sessile and cylindrical without gonads. Example: Hydra and Adamsia. Medusa is free swimming, umbrella like, having gonads. Means here polyp exhibit asexual reproduction and medusa exhibit sexual reproduction. Because of presence of these two type of body forms, the cnidarians exhibit a characteristic phenomenon, that is a metagenesis. What is metagenesis? The alternation of body forms from medusa to from polyp to medusa, medusa to polyp is called as metagenesis. Polyp produces medusa by asexual reproduction, whereas medusa produces polyp by the sexual reproduction. Next. In cnidarians, the type of development is indirect. The larval form is planula. Let us see the next phylum, Ctenophora. The ctenophores are commonly called as comb jellies or sea walnuts or sea gooseberries. Ctenophores are exclusively marine, diploblastic, radially symmetrical, with the tissue level of organization. The body bears 8 ciliated comb plates. The ciliated comb plates helps in the locomotion. Because of presence of comb plates, they are commonly called as comb jellies. And the unique characteristic feature of the ctenophores: bioluminescence. The emission of the cold light from the body of an organism is called as bioluminescence. Ctenophores are hermaphrodites. The fertilization is external and the development is indirect. The larval form is cydipid. Examples: Ctenoplana and Plurobranchia. Let us see the next phylum. Phylum Platyhelminthes, also called as flatworms, because the body of Platyhelminthes dorso-ventrally flattened, and it is bilateral symmetrical, triploblastic or coelomates with organ level of organization. Most of the organisms in Platyhelminthes are parasites. A few are free living organisms like Planaria, and they consist of hooks and suckers which helps to anchor the body, to attach the tissues in the host body. And a characteristic feature of platyhelminth is presence of flame cells, which helps in osmoregulation and excretion. The function of flame cells is osmoregulation and excretion. The fertilization is internal, the development is indirect. The many larval stages will be present, such as radia, cercaria, metacercaria, and these also hermaphrodite organisms. Example: Taenia solium, Planaria, Fasciola hepatica. Next phylum, Aschelminthes, also called as roundworms. Aschelminthes are free living. So only few are the free living. Most of the Aschelminthes are parasitic forms. Some are terrestrial, some are aquatic animals, and some are parasitic on plants. Next, they exhibit bilateral symmetry, triploblastic body condition, and the type of coelom is a pseudocoelom. What is pseudocoelom? The space between body wall and alimentary canal is filled with scattered pouches of mesoderm. Next, the alimentary canal is complete with a well-developed muscular pharynx. In Platyhelminthes, incomplete alimentary canal is found, but the first time complete alimentary canal is appeared in Aschelminthes. Next, they are dioecious. The females are longer than the males. The males have curved posterior end. At the curved posterior end, there are a, there are a pair of pineal spicules which are helps in the copulation. Example: Oscaris, Wuchereria, and Ankylostoma. Next phylum, Annelida. Annelids are aquatic or terrestrial. They exhibit bilateral symmetry and metamerism. What is metamerism? When the body is divided into small segments externally and internally with repetition of at least some internal organs called as metamerism. Next, aquatic annelids like Nereis possess lateral appendages. They are called as parapodia, which helps in the swimming. Next, nephridia helps in the osmoregulation and excretion. The neural system consists of paired ganglia connected by lateral nerves to a double ventral nerve cord. The dioecious animals are some are dioecious and some are monoecious organisms. Example: Peritima hirudinea, that is earthworm and leech. The most important point to be remembered regarding Annelida, one is metamerism and another one is parapodia, the lateral appendages which helps in swimming. Next phylum, Arthropoda. The Arthropoda is the largest phylum of animals which includes insects. It exhibit a bilateral symmetry and the body is covered by the chitinous exoskeleton. Body is divided into head, thorax, abdomen, and it consists of jointed appendages. Because of presence of jointed appendages, the phylum name Arthropoda. Respiratory organs are gills, book lungs, and tracheal system, book gills. The book gills are present in lemurus. The book lungs are present in scorpion. Gills are present in crustaceans, aquatic crustaceans like prawn. The tracheal system is present in insects. The excretory organs are Malpighian tubules in insects, coxal glands in arachnids like scorpion and spider, and green glands are antennary glands. Green glands, antennary glands in crustaceans. Next, fertilization is internal, mostly oviparous. Example: the economically important insects are Apis indica, the common name honeybee, Bombyx mori, silkworm. Vectors: Anopheles, Aedes, and Culex. These are mosquitoes. The next phylum, Mollusca, a soft-bodied animals, is the second largest phylum in the animal kingdom. The body is divided into head, muscular foot, and visceral hump. Body is unsegmented and covered with calcareous shell. Feather-like gills are present between hump and mantle, that is in the mantle cavity. They are called, the feather-like gills are called as ctenidia. Mouth contains a file-like rasping organ for feeding called as radula. Example, pila and octopus. The important point to remember, mollusca, the body parts head, muscular foot and visual hump, and feather-like gills, they are ctenidia and also radula. These are important points to remember. Next, phylum Echinodermata, commonly called as spiny skinned animals. Endoskeleton of calcareous ossicles. The endoskeleton is made up of calcareous ossicles. They are marine organisms. Organ system level of organization, triploblastic body condition, and eucoelomates are enterocoelomates. The unique characteristic feature of echinodermates is the presence of water vascular system. That water vascular system is also called as umbilical system, which helps in the locomotion and the capture of food and respiration. Locomotion, capture of food and respiration. Sexes are separate, fertilization is external, and development is indirect. The many larval forms will be present like Bipinnaria, Glochidium. Example, Asterias, starfish, Cucumeria, sea cucumber, Antedon, sea lily. The important point to remember, water vascular system, the function of water vascular system. Next, hemichordata. Earlier, hemichordata is under chordata because of presence of stomachord. But by the recent researches, the scientists are concluded that the stomachord is not similar structure to the notochord. So by that, now the scientists are placed the hemichordata as a separate phylum under invertebrata. Stomachord is a rod-like, hollow rod-like structure. Because of presence of stomachord, the phylum name Hemichordata. Hemi means of chordates. So your stomachord is notochord-like structure, but not true notochord. The animals of hemichordate are worm-like marine animals, exhibit organ system level of organization and bilateral symmetry, triploblastic body condition, and eucoelomates. Body is cylindrical, composed of anterior proboscis, collar, and a long trunk region, middle collar, and posterior long trunk region. The type of circulatory system, open type of circulatory system. Respiration is done by the gills. The excretory organ is the proboscis gland. The sexes are separate. Fertilization is external, indirect development, and the larval stage is ternaria. Example, Balanoclassus and Sophoclassus. Next, phylum Chordata. The four chordo means notochord, eta means bearing. So here the all animals which bear notochord are included in phylum Chordata. The four fundamental features of notochord, presence of four fundamental features of chordates: presence of notochord, nerve cord, uh, gill slits, pharyngeal gill slits, post anal tail. At least any one stage of an animal should consist these four characteristic features, then only the animal we can called as chordate. At least any stage of the life, during embryonic development or infant or adult stage, at least one stage, the animal should contain all fundamental features of chordates. Then only those type of animals we can call as chordates. And chordates exhibit bilateral symmetry, triploblastic body condition, eucoelomates, closed type of circulatory system, and ventrally located heart. Next, let us see the classification of phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata is divided into two subphylums, actually three subphylums: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. The phylum Chordata is divided into three subphylums: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. The Urochordata, Cephalochordata together called as protochordates. This classification is based on the fate of notochord. In case of urochordates, the notochord is present in the tail region during larval stage. When they converted into adults, the notochord disappears. Whereas in the cephalochordates, the notochord is extended from the tail to head region. Cephalo means head, cardo means notochord. The notochord is extended into the head region. Next, in vertebrates, the notochord is modified into vertebral column. In urochordates, notochord present only during the larval stage in the tail region, but in the adult stage it disappears. In cephalochordate, notochord is extended from the tail to the head region. The notochord persists throughout the lifetime. But in vertebrates, the notochord is modified into vertebral column. Next, the subphylum Vertebrata is further divided into Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha and Gnathostomata on the basis of presence or absence of the jaws. Agnatha, A means absent, Gnatha means jaws. So the animals which do not have jaws are included in Agnatha. The animals which consist jaws in their oral cavity are included in the Gnathostomata. Agnatha includes only one class, that is Cyclostomata. And Gnathostomata further divided into two superclasses. One is Pisces and another one is Tetrapods. Pisces further divided into two classes, Conductis and Osteichthyes. And the superclass Tetrapoda is further divided into four classes: amphibians, reptiles, aves, and mammals. This is classification of phylum Chordata. Let us see the characteristic feature of each class of the phylum Chordata. Now, class Cyclostomata. They are ectoparasites on fishes. The cyclostomes are, most of the cyclostomes are ectoparasites on fishes. They have sucking and circular mouth without jaws. Body devoid of scales. Scales are absent. The gill slits are for respiration. The respiration is done through the gill slits, or pharyngeal gill slits. Cranium and vertebral column is cartilaginous. That means the endoskeleton is made up of cartilage. Circulation is closed type. They are marine but migrate to the fresh water for the spawning and die after few days. The cyclostomes actually marine, but for the spawning means to lay the eggs. They migrate to the fresh water. After laying eggs, these adult organisms will die. Then the larva, the eggs are converted into larva, then larva is converted into adult. Again, this adult is, these larvae are returned to the sea water or marine after metamorphosis. Example for the cyclostomates: petromyzon, commonly called as lamprey, myxin, agfish. So this migration from the marine water to the fresh water, migration from the marine water to the fresh water is called as anadromous migration. One more type of migration is called as catadromous, that is from fresh water to the marine water. The salmon fishes exhibit that anadromous type of migration, but cyclostomes exhibit catadromous. Cyclostomes exhibit anadromous type of migration, and salmon fish exhibit catadromous type of migration. Next, the superclass Pisces is divided into two classes: Condyctis and Osteichthyes. The Condyctis includes all marine fishes. The body is streamlined. Endoskeleton is made up of cartilage, and these are cold-blooded animals. The skin consists of placoid type of scales. Skin consists placoid type of scales. Gill slits are separate without operculum. The operculum is absent. Air bladder is absent, and to avoid the sinking, they have to swim continuously. Heart is two-chambered. Sexes are separate. Males have the pelvic fins, which bears the claspers. The type of fertilization is internal fertilization. Mostly they are viviparous organisms. The electric organ is present in torpedo. The torpedo is commonly called as electric fish. And the poisonous sting is present in the trigon, hence the trigon is called as stingray or poisonous fish. Here point to remember, the operculum is absent, air bladder is absent, the type of scales are placoid type of scales, and claspers are present in the male fishes. Next, Osteichthyes fishes. Osteichthyes includes marine and freshwater fishes. They are commonly called as bony fishes because endoskeleton is made up of bones. The body is streamlined, 4 pairs of gills are present, and gills are covered by the operculum. In Condyctis fishes, operculum is absent, but in Osteichthyes fishes, operculum is present. Skin is covered with ctenoid or arytenoid or guanoid type of scales. Air bladder is present. Heart is two-chambered and also cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. Oviparous, mostly oviparous organisms. Example: hippocampus, exocetus. These are example for the marine fishes. And labio, cutla, clarias are example for the freshwater fishes. Here, how to remember differences between Condyctis and Osteichthyes fishes. In Condyctis fishes, type of scales are placoid type of scales. In Osteichthyes, guanoid, arytenoid, and ctenoid type of scales are present. In Condyctis, operculum is absent. In Osteichthyes, operculum is present. In Condyctis, air bladder is absent. In Osteichthyes, air bladder is present. In Condyctis, claspers are present in male fishes, but in Osteichthyes, claspers are absent. These are the main differences between Condyctis and Osteichthyes fishes. Next, the tetrapoda, superclass tetrapoda, is divided into 4 classes: amphibia, reptilia, aves, and mammals. Amphibia includes animals which can live in aquatic mode of life and terrestrial mode of life. And reptilia, mostly they are terrestrial animals. Aves also terrestrial and aerial animals. They are mostly aerial animals. and mammals are mostly terrestrial and few can live in the water. Here, in amphibia, two pairs of limbs. In reptiles, two pairs of limbs. And in aves, four limbs are modified into wings. And in mammals, also two pairs of limbs are present. Regarding skin, in amphibia, moist glandular skin is present without scale. And in reptilia, dry cornified skin is present with scales or scutes. And in aves, glandular, dry glandular or without glands. And in aves, bones are pneumatic bones. Pneumatic bones means the bone marrow cavity is filled with air. And in mammals, skin possesses ears and mammary glands and other type of glands like sebaceous and sweat glands. Next, in air, in amphibia, respiration is by gills, lungs, and skin. That means branchial respiration, pulmonary respiration, and cutaneous respiration occurs in the amphibians. Next, in reptiles, only pulmonary respiration is present. In aves, also pulmonary respiration, and in mammals, also pulmonary respiration. Next, in aves, in amphibians, heart is three-chambered, incomplete double circulation, they are cold-blooded animals. In reptilia, heart is three-chambered, but only in crocodiles four-chambered heart is present. And here we can see the incomplete double circulation except crocodilia. Next, in aves, heart is four-chambered and they are warm-blooded animals. Complete double circulation is found. Next, in mammals also four-chambered heart with complete double circulation, and these are also warm-blooded animals. Next, amphibians are oviparous and reptiles are mostly viviparous. Some of the reptiles may be viviparous. Next, aves are oviparous and mammals consist both viviparous and oviparous. Example for amphibians, Rana, Salamandra and Hyla. Example for reptiles, chameleon, crocodilia, crocodilus and Naza. Next example for aves, Columba, pigeon, pavo, cristatus, and ostrich. Next, mammals, platypus is the egg-laying example for egg-laying mammal, and camel, dog, blue whale are viviparous organisms. This is uh, we had a glance at animal kingdom. Next chapter I would like to discuss about cell, the unit of life. Next session I would be continuing this chapter.